Hi guys, it's me, Diego Luizzi, and today I'm bringing a new video talking about Backstage and how we create our first IDP, our developer portal. But first, I want to make a question. What kind of a problem you are trying to resolve with Backstage, with a developer portal? Because in this scenario I will bring a lot of tools, but tools don't bring value to the company, solutions bring value to the company. And what kind of solution we want to give to our company? Talk about IDP, or what the hell is Backstage and why we need a Backstage in our company. First, I want to answer my previous question and say we want to bring a better experience for our company and our development. We don't need to give this for our developers. We need to bring a better experience in development for our company, to bring value. And we have Backstage, or internal development platform, to solve these problems. The first thing, I try to create a real scenario with a lot of tools, and I try to authenticate every tool that I used in this POC in GitHub and try to integrate with GitHub, because our developer don't need to open a lot of tickets to request access in a lot of places. The developer have access to the code. He needs to have access in all the information that came from the code, all the information about your application. Then, if the developer has access to GitHub, he can access our Backstage and every tool. This is me, Diego Luizzi, and I want to say, please guys, share and subscribe in the video. This helps a lot, and let's go. Here in the home, I have groups. These groups came from GitHub, and here I have the SRE team. Me is part of the team. The department is engineering. The SRE team have 3 services: one open API and one system. And if we go to our catalog, we have some components, systems, and resources. We will create a new component. Then we will choose a Golang template, and we have to pick a new name, and the name of the component will be test 666, and in the description, help test, and what system this component is part is help. The lifecycle is experimental. The type is service. Who is the owner? This is the groups that came from GitHub, and this is dev team will be the owner of this component. What the organization we will create on the DevXP, and the name of the repository. Here I create infrastructure, create Kubernetes app, what environment I want to create. Okay, we can review and create. Backstage use a plugin called scaffolder. Scaffolder will fork our template repository and open a PR, push another repository. Here is my organization. I have 4 repositories. Now I have 5 because I already created one, college text 666, and I have GitOps repository with Argo, Backstage catalog, and a template application Go. Let's go to our GitOps. We will have a pull request. This is our new app, test 666, and let's approve. Normally the SRE team will do this review and approve, and we are developers. We don't want to access a lot of places. We just want to look inside our Backstage. And in this process, the SRE team will be the team that look to GitOps repository and make the review. In this scenario, the SRE team don't need to create and deploy new resources. Just review and approve. We are a reviewer in this process. Then let's go to catalog. And we have our catalog here. In the pipeline, already created code quality in Sonar. We have some relationships. We have some information about our component, who is the owner, what team these components is part, the type, the life cycle, some tags, some useful links and relationships. If we have some subcomponents, our Argo overview, our dashboards, and with some alerts. Our application is not running yet, and we don't know why. We want to go to Kubernetes, and let's check it. We have some errors, and we have our development cluster, and we have a namespace. We have some information about our deployment, and if we go here, we have image pullback off. Why? And we have a service. Why? Because we don't finish our pipeline to build a new image and push to our registry. We are using Docker Hub in this registry, and we don't finish the pipeline yet, but we can go to CICD and check. Oh, now it's completed. Let's check the Argo. Argo is still progressing, and we click here, we can see some information about the repo URL, the path, and something. Okay, let's go to Kubernetes, to Prometheus. We have some alerts, and here we have a graph with our CPU usage of our app, and we have CI, we have code insights, we have pull requests, we have security, we have APIs to do, and other stuffs. And let's go to Argo and check the status of our application. We click here. Our application is progressing. It's not synced yet. Let's refresh. Okay, our container is healthy, and we can come back here and go to website and open our URL and see that our application test 666 is healthy, and hello world for your app test 666. We have health check, we have a lot of things, and now we don't have errors. We have our status. Then in our development cluster, we have one pod running. We need some seconds to update the CPU, and the pod is running with ease2, and we have our service, everything okay. And now we can go to our repository and go to source code. We have some badges. We have some informations inside GitHub. We have code owners. We have pipelines, pull requests, pipelines. We have a lot of information. We have Docker file. Everything that the developer needs to start a new application are here. He just needs to put your code inside the repository and start work. Then our application is already running. If we go here, we can see some dashboards, and we can go to this view. The grafana is authentication in our GitHub. Then we can check, let's change the namespace. We create a namespace test, and let's see some information, and you will see an annotation inside the grafana graph. Here we have our application dev test 666 has been successful synced. What is this? We create some markdown, some annotation in Grafana every time that we make a deployment, because if we have some problem in your company, we can see, oh, this spike start after this deployment, and we can correlate some informations, and we have a lot of graphs in Grafana. We don't have percentage volumes yet. Then everything the developer needs to start a troubleshooting is here. We have alerts, we have graphs, we have observability. I create a simple Slack and create some integrations, and here we can see the status of the pipeline with setup environments, test in this version, SonarQube scan, build, and GitOps deploy. We have some Prometheus alerts. We have Argo status. We have GitHub notification. Then the developer have everything that he needs to work. Then if we go to our Argo, we have an application Backstage, and if we go to inside our Backstage, we have an bucket, an S3 bucket inside our Argo. I am using crossplane to create infrastructure on our cloud provider. I'm using AWS, and if you go to our terminal, we can check the status of the bucket using kubectl command line, and if we have kget bucket, we can check the status of our tech docs bucket, and the resource of the application is with the namespace inside the namespace, because the developer is the owner of the resource and he needs to know the status. And if we go back to Backstage, we inside our catalog, we have our catalog, we have resources, and I can go to resources and choose a system. Oh, let me close the previous PR that I opened, because I will open with the same name. Here is our GitOps repository. Let's delete the resource, the PR, and create again. The system of the component is hell. The owner is the DBA team. The lifecycle is experimental. The environment is dev, and the database parameter, we can pick MySQL, Postgre. We choose Postgre. Next, create. And Argo scaffolder will fetch the repository and open a PR in our GitOps repository. Let's go to our GitOps. We have a pull request that I already opened, create hell dev.db, and if we go to file changes, we have the resource of our RDS instance. And if I approve this PR, Argo will apply this resource, and we are using crossplane, and the developer will have a database. And the SRE team is just the reviewer in the process. We as SRE, we don't need to create to provide new resource. We just need to create templates and review the PRs. We have more important things to do and bring more value to the company than just provide infrastructure. And this is my lab of Backstage. I hope that you enjoy, and please share and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye bye.